Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today I've got a little bit of a different video for you. I'm going to tell you guys that something that I firmly believe now is an absolute must-have for all flight simmers and really simmers of any kind. Stick around because I'm going to tell you what that is, and then I'm going to tell you guys a whole bunch of tips, tricks, tools, and things on how to use it and how anyone can take advantage of this amazing product and really accelerate your flight sim or driving sim experience. Stick around. If you are interested in any of my tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator or simply interested in supporting the channel, consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides as well as any future guides that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below. All right, you guys. So as you guys know, I have a ton of products that are available to me. I have done everything from driving simulation to flying simulation, new hardware, old hardware, new product lines, software, everything. I have gotten to touch things that I never thought I was ever going to be able to have, especially with the help from all of you. None of that would be possible. As you guys see, I have quite the plethora of controls, etc. at my disposal. It really is a never-ending thing, and this isn't even all of them. I have a closet full and a whole bunch of other stuff in a whole nother room that is dedicated to this wonderful hobby of ours. But only in the last couple months have I really taken the opportunity and been provided the opportunity with some help from community members, some help from friends of mine, and then just some good old, well, we'll get to that last piece in a minute on what's really helping me accelerate now. But the biggest thing that I think that every simmer of any kind, flight simulation or otherwise, needs is one of these. And just for the record, this is not. Sorry about that, guys. I need to be careful. I'm using a hand tracking thing on my phone that's allowing me to record, so I need to be not quite so animated. But this is what we're here to talk about today. This is a 3D printer. Now, we're going to talk about this specific unit. And by the way, guys, I don't know if it got cut off. This is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. I was not asked to do this. This was not provided. I bought all of this with my own money. I want to make that very clear. This is not a sponsor. I am finding a ridiculous advantage to having one. So first, I'm going to do a very quick high level. I was not technical at all. This is actually my second ever 3D printer. Before this, I had a Creality Ender 3 V2 Pro, and I could never make the damn thing work. And there's a lot of things that go into that. I've mentioned this in previous videos. Things like, I just didn't have the time to dedicate to figuring out how to make it work. I could never get a decent print out of it. If I did get a successful print, I would get one good print and then 30 bad ones, and it just got so frustrating that I gave up. Flat and simple, I gave up. And of course, I had the YouTube channel, the kids, the family, the job, all that. So I didn't have the time to dedicate to it. That was quite a few years ago when the Ender 3 V2 Pro first came out. Obviously, the game has changed, and the game has changed a lot. This is the Bamboo Labs A1 printer, which, by the way, guys, I think right now is still on sale. I think you can pick this up for right around $400 US, give or take. And this is with the AMS Lite, which is just a multicolor system. When I bought my printer itself, first off, let's talk about the setup. I'm going to break a lot of things down for you guys right out of the gate. The things that kept me from doing 3D printing, and I think will probably keep you from doing 3D printing. If you think about it, it's in your head. These are probably the same things. One, the setup. The setup from the time that I got the box, the time I had it up and running through its tests and getting itself ready was about 15 minutes. Not bad at all. The AMS Lite, same thing. I bought this separate, came as a separate unit. So to swap it out from a single color to a multicolor was about 10 minutes and we were up and running to the races. The software, extremely easy to use, very simple, nice touchscreen display, nothing crazy about it. Now, again, this is not to advertise for Bamboo Labs. I want to express a lot of things. But then it became the hard part. Okay, great. I've got this 3D printer. And by the way, it's got a bunch of test prints that you can do, the benchy boat, and it fires up. This is a very fast printer. It can do one of those benchy boats where the Creality Ender 3 would take a couple hours. This thing does it in like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, I think, if you put it on its highest speed. And it's got multiple speed levels. So you can crank some pretty good prints out pretty quickly. The other thing is now you have things that you can also do just for fun. Like, for example, this was one of my tests early on. It's a model kit. You just assemble it, right? But it's the F-14 Tomcat. Comes with a stand, right? It's fun. I'm going to do another one now that I have the multicolor. But the big thing that I want to share with you guys, if we come back over here, these wall mounts for my wheel for my Moses set, 3D printed. Coming over here, Follow me over this way. You guys still with me? Okay. This is a wall mount for the Pimax crystal light. Works absolutely, excuse me. Sorry, that's just the crystal. I think that's the OG crystal. I don't think that's my light. No, that is my light. That's the light because the super's over there. So there's just a lot of things that are already out there and in development that people post to these online sites. There's stuff for flight simulation, driving simulation, models, trucks, tools around the house, different things that you may need and that you haven't thought of. Okay, but now where does this come into flight simulation? I want to show you guys a few things that are pretty cool. We're going to come back around this way and I'm going to show you guys. I hope I don't lose you guys. If I do, we'll reset the video. There we go. One of the things we just talked about. This is the Desktop Pilot switch box. Now, this is gorgeous. And I'm not saying you're going to get this kind of quality print out of you, but I bet you could. But this is 3D printed. This is very much so a 3D printing shell. And I'm not trying to steer you away from Desktop Pilot. They've earned it. They've done a fantastic job. Getting the lettering and things like that gets tricky, right? I can't make anything this nice. That's for damn sure. Okay. But the example of what I'm trying to show you, all this stuff from Authenticate, this is all 3D printed. They give you the instructions. You can purchase the STLs. They give you a DIY kit that you can assemble yourself. And they have YouTube videos walking through the instructions. But this is a full replica of the P51 throttle. Buttons, you name it, right? So a lot of this stuff is 3D printed and is really coming a long way in changing the game, for lack of better words. The reason why it's changing the game is because it's going to start driving the cost of things down is the way that I see this coming in a few years. I want to show you something that yours truly is working on. Now this is just a couple of prototypes, but I want you guys to see. And eventually I'm going to have these for sale on my Patreon site. So if you guys are interested in supporting this project and buying all the stuff necessary, please consider joining me on Patreon. It really does help me do a lot of this stuff. I would not be able to purchase things like this if it wasn't for you guys. But this is something that I'm working on. It's a switch box that I'm going to be making for all of you guys and myself and having multiple different panels. We have this one here where I first started. You can see the text is all flat. Obviously, again, these are prototypes. Didn't worry about cleaning them up or anything like that. The idea behind, actually no, this was one. The idea behind this one is it will illuminate from the back of it. This one I tried without illumination. This was my first one with any kind of text to it. So there's a lot of advantages that come into all of this. Now, when it comes to designing things, you probably think that you need CAD. You probably need that experience. You need to know how to do it. I don't know how to design things. I don't know how to use CAD. Sorry, I got to stop talking with my hands with this thing. I don't know how to use CAD. I don't use CAD at all until I started getting into this. There is a free website called Tinkercad, and there are a ton of YouTube tutorials on it that walk you through from the very basics all the way up to the top. And one of the things that I'm going to start doing on this channel is doing Tinkercad tutorials. And keep in mind, I'm not a pro. So you're going to be learning from a beginner. Okay, you're going to be learning from someone who knows the very basics if you guys start watching those videos. And then I'm probably going to do some YouTube shorts, some real quick segments on things like that too. The reason why I'm making this video is because so much of my life I spent not being able to afford this kind of stuff. And then you get into it, and then there's things like what we made before. You know what? There's actually one more thing I'm going to show you guys while we're talking. And that is, for those of you who may not have seen it, something we've already done with a 3D printer. Where did I put it? Oh, but you know what? Here's another object that's really cool. If you guys look on my video, Gear Falcon. And again, I'm not trying to steer any product from here. I would prefer you guys buy his stuff. But this is all 3D printed, the shell. Okay? All 3D printed. So a fabulous tool. I'm actually looking for the unit that I made, but I don't remember where I put it. But I made a full cradle. You guys can go back in my live streams, go to my channel, select lives, and go back to DIY cockpit build. You guys will see I made a full cockpit build, or a full cradle that goes around the Moza force feedback yoke and has the GNS 530, one of the other Gear Falcon throttles on it, and a slot on the other side that I've got for an iPad. Really did a lot of stuff to it. And it didn't take me that long to learn how to do it. And you may think you need to be a rocket science. You don't. There's a few things you need. You need some calipers, you know. So we're talking about the tools. For those of you who may not know what a caliper is, you've probably seen them 1,000 times, may not have just heard it referenced. These are calipers, okay? This, I think, was $30 on Amazon, okay? They don't need to be, you're not building for NASA, okay? You can buy the nice ones if you want, go to $100, whatever, but you don't need that. The Tinkercad stuff, like I said, free website, at the very least, will get you into it, get you in the door, get you start building things. Then you have people like myself, who, again, As soon as I finalize the design for things like this, I'm going to be posting a PDF document with YouTube video tutorial and the STLs, where all you need to do is print it. Literally just fire it up and print it. And the beautiful part about things like the A1 here is that all you need is the STL. That's literally it. As long as it's designed to fit the bed, which obviously if you buy this one, and this is a 256 by 256 by 256 bed, okay? As long as you buy something similar, you literally just download the STL and you're off. Tell it to print and it goes. It does all the bed leveling themselves, all the flow dynamic testing themselves, changing things out. The maintenance is almost non-existent. I've had this thing up and running solidly for about 6 months now. 6 months, 4 months, 5 months, somewhere around there. If we come over here, this was all 3D printed off that machine. You just weld them together. Now, these STLs were provided by atsaccessories.com. Be sure to check them out if you guys are interested in American Truck Simulator and something like this. Same thing with the dash over here. I know you guys probably can't see it real well with this angle, but the dash that you've seen in my live stream truck, that is 3D printed as well, and off of this printer. And this was actually printed in the dashboard over here was actually printed in 3 pieces. Okay, and then welded together. So there's a lot of things that you can do with these things, guys. They're so incredible and so powerful. Now, the biggest reason that I say that this is and it must be a must-have for simmers is because one of the things that we're all doing is we're all designing our own cockpits, our own styles, our own, well, I want this here, I want that here, or you have your own desks, you have different cockpit frames, you have Next Level Racing, you have Sim Labs, you have, things like this where the motion pit, everyone's got a different setup. And one of the harder parts, and I think even for developers too, of all the hardware, is they can't create a mounting system that just works for everybody. And so once you learn how to do this, and it takes a little bit of study time, it takes a little bit, but if you're not as busy as I am in the aspect of, again, work, job, kids, and the YouTube channel and Patreon, which by the way, we have 2 new guides that are going to be coming out next week. So look for that. They're finally wrapped up. We're back in action. I'm really excited to get those up and going again. Been a fight with one of them, but anyway, I digress. Don't want to make it about that. But like simple things, coming back over here, when it comes to setting up your environment, I designed this. It's just a simple box, right? There's nothing fancy about it, but it holds my router. Same thing with the clip to my modem. I designed that, and it took a couple of seconds. And these were one of the first 2 things that I did. They were on the floor. You guys can see that all of this is running off one machine, right? So I needed something that, could go between them very easily. And I don't want you guys to be afraid. I really don't. And I don't want people to be holding back because they think that it's as difficult as it used to be, just like I did. When, again, back in the days of the Ender 3, when I first got it, it was difficult. It was hard. You had to take the time. You had to have those little micro levelers, the spacers to make sure that the head was off the bed at X amount of millimeters and all that. You don't have to do any of that anymore. It's so easy. It's so easy now. And so now anyone who's not getting into 3D printing, especially in this particular hobby, you're leaving your own experience on the table, right? If that makes sense. You're leaving things out. And again, I'm going to stress, this is not sponsored. I was not asked to do this video. I don't care what 3D printer you get. There's tons of them out there. I just think that for me, coming from the Ender series, this particular one has been an absolute blast. And that's why I'm recommending it, is because it's worked for me. I have a friend of mine who just recently, bought his about a month after I got mine. He said the same thing. This just worked ever since he got it. The gentleman over at atsaccessories.com is the one who recommended this to me. And he's got, I think he said 9 of them, but he does it for a business. Right. But I really want you guys to feel empowered. And I really want people who think that, you don't need it or you can't do it or you don't know how to get that sort of mindset out, because I didn't have any time to dedicate to this. Now let's talk about another tool that I want you guys to be really aware of. And that is ChatGPT. As silly as it sounds, bear with me. I am recently learning how truly powerful ChatGPT is. It's pretty impressive what it's capable of doing. Now, it won't necessarily, at least unless I'm gonna back up, it might. I have not found a way. I need to verbalize things different. I have not found a way to make it do like a full print by itself. Okay, as far as design everything from scratch, but I know it can do a lot of the load work for you. But more importantly, let's talk about the part that it can do and that I've already tested and works. So great, Mike, I can build a frame for my flight box. I can design my own cockpit, but I don't know how to do all the wiring. I don't know what circuit board to get and how to map it. ChatGPT does. So I have tested it with the Leonardo or the Arduino Leonardo, I believe is what it was. Yeah, and the micro or the mini, micro, doesn't matter. Anyway, I told it what I wanted. I actually gave it a copy of that, and mind you, there's a whole different switch or circuit board that I'm using for mine here. But just as a test, I had micros in my closet from when I tried to get into this long ago, and I tested it. And so I'm like, all right, here's what I want you to do. I told it how many toggle switches. I told it how many encoders. I told it how many encoders with push buttons. And I told it how many of these switches had LEDs on the tip of them. There were 5 of them, my anti-ice switches that I'm using. When you flip them up, there's a green light on top of them that should illuminate, letting you know that your anti-ice is on, right? Same thing with the panel, with the backlighting that we were talking about. I'm using an LED strip in the back inside the case. And you can do all this. And by golly, ChatGPT not only identified everything I need, told me what transistors to use, and believe it or not, it actually recommended a switch that I wasn't already using that was cheaper and in greater quantity and easier to set up. But it drew out everything for me. And it gave me a wiring diagram so I knew how to do it, what wire goes to where, literally matched it 1-to-1. It gave me the script for the board, and loading the board is easy. Like it's pretty black and white. You have a software, you plug your board into your computer via USB. The software detects, hey, you have this Arduino board. Would you like to load a script to it? You tell it yes, and it asks you to import it, right? And ChatGPT created the script for me, right? Told me how to wire it. So I wired it the way it told me to, blah, 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 fired up, and it just worked. And even if it does run into an issue, the software, the Arduino software, will tell you if there's a coding problem. And then you just kick it back over to ChatGPT and say, hey, it said this line was wrong. And 99.999% of the time, it'll fix it for you. The other thing I'll give you guys a little tip on, for those of you who may not be using ChatGPT, if you are DCS world flyers and you like creating your own missions, ChatGPT knows how to use Mist and Moose and create scripts for you. Saves a ton of legwork if you guys are interested. You can make some really badass missions, things that will respawn, X of Y events. Let's say you still have to place everything down on your map, just for the record. And I'm getting off topic for a second, but again, I'm trying to share this stuff with you guys, empower you guys here. But you can tell it, all right, hey, I've got this group titled here. I've got this trigger zone here. I want XYZ to happen when you know, whatever. Tell it the scenario, and damn if it doesn't write the script for you. You import it into DCS, off you go. It's been awesome. I've got a sick sort of multiverse, if you will, mission coming up or a map coming up. A little bit. It's going to have the ability to do everything. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. I get excited. Like I said, guys, I can't stress. You know, I've seen a lot of videos where people are like, you know, this guy, he's over the top. You can tell he's lying. I'm really not. I really do get this passionate about it. I work a lot. I don't have a lot of free time to myself. And so when I get to dive into this stuff, it really is that fun for me. It really is this exciting for me. All the hardware and stuff that I've been like, this is amazing. I love it. I really mean it, and a lot of that comes back to, I never thought I'd have it. Like if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for the channel, I wouldn't. Like I wouldn't be able to afford it. Anyway, so I wanted to throw all of this out there. I really think that if you are on the fence on 3D printing, first off, the community that I found in 3D printing so far has been phenomenal. They're all usually extremely helpful. Like I said, there's a ton of STLs that are already out there between Thingiverse and, like for me, the Bamboo Labs website that they host their own, and then Patreon, things like that. You know, people who are selling STLs. DIY kits are becoming more and more popular because they're becoming more and more accessible. It's becoming a lot easier to acquire this stuff. And if you don't want to 3D print yourself, there are a lot of websites that you can submit an STL to. STL, for those who don't know, is a print file, right? It's what tells the printer what to print. So when you guys hear me say that, if you're like, wonder what the hell's an STL? That's what it is. It's the print file itself. It's the job itself. Okay, so actually I think it's an MMF. Sorry, I guess that's not too true. But anyway, M3F or whatever the fuck it is. Oops, sorry. Language. Anyways, that's really the sum of this video, guys. Like I said, be watching Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the designs I'm coming, the things that I've got so far that are coming to Patreon, I'm going to give you guys a heads up here. This is the, let's see if it's powered on. Yep. This is the PU Air Korea overhead panel. I created mounts for it that can mount either to a desk or as you can see, I've got it mounted vertically. The other things, again, those were already up there. The cradle that I was talking about, it's a full mount cradle that goes over the Moza yoke system, the force feedback system. I'm going to have that up there with things like the Gear Falcon and the Flight Sim Builder GNS 530 that will print with it. Again, watch those live streams, guys. Go back to my lives, hit my channel, go to the lives and find the DIY stuff, and you'll see me design it from start to finish. If you guys are interested in seeing, it literally shows that process from start to finish. The very first episode, we started with absolutely nothing. Shows how I designed the cradle, how we got our measurements, everything, right? You guys got to see it all. Okay, and then right up to the prototype build where you saw it in the cockpit and we were flying. It's a lot of fun. It gives you a whole new way of thinking about things when you start realizing, hey, I can do this myself. I can design it the way I want, right? Like this is actually an option now. Sometimes you have to print, like we were talking about with this, in multiple pieces, right? But it's worth it. It's worth it. And I want to empower you guys. I want you guys to feel empowered. Again, it's not to take away from any of the fantastic developers that are out there, but you know, not everyone sells what we're looking for. If there's ever that button box or that switch or that dashboard that you're looking for, you have the ability to do it. Like you can. I promise you can do it. Make sure that you guys join my Discord. I'm always around if you guys need help. You guys, and what I mean by that is feel free to message me direct. You know, I know a lot of Discord operators are sort of anti, hey, you know, you can't message this person directly. Me, just be patient. You know, if it takes me a couple days to get back to you, forgive me. You know, like I said, busy life. I'm a single dad, father of 3, the jobs, blah, 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 right? You know, I don't want to make it sound like a poor me story. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video useful. I hope it gave you guys something to think about. Again, I do recommend the Bamboo A1 printer. And again, stressing, not sponsored. The only reason why I'm recommending this, like there's no link. I don't have any link in the description for you. There's no discount code I've got for you guys. It just simply is, it's been a lot of fun. If you can afford it, if the money's there, I do also recommend the AMS with it. It has a bundle that it comes with it. Having the multicolors is cool. It's been fun. This is the faceplates that I showed you guys are the first project that I've done with the multicolor. It's actually why I bought the multicolor. But I've already got a bunch of different ideas going for the multicolor system. We've got the red here because I'm going to try to figure out how to incorporate the Overkill logo into that box that I'm making and designing. As always, guys, I'm always trying to think outside the box. I'm always trying to find different types of content for you guys that is still in the realm of flight simulation, but to better the flight simulation experience. That's why my channel focuses very highly on the software and hardware side of things versus just flying around. Is because I want to make it better, best bang for your buck, and the most convenient. Like I've got so many different ideas. I could talk to you guys all day long about the stuff that I'm going to be designing, but we'll wait for a later video on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. As always, folks, you know the drill. Stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.